Welcome. If you are joining me for the first time, I am so glad that you are here. If you don't know me, I'm Leah Hadley. I'm the founder of Great Lakes Investment Management and Great Lakes Divorce Financial Solutions. And I help people navigate life transitions and all the financial decisions that come along with those big life changes. And I am thrilled to have our special guest here today. This is Kelly Bonanno, and she is a life and wellness coach, speaker, and divorced mom. And with over a decade as a wellness educator, she helps people navigate divorce with confidence and become the best versions of themselves inside and out. Whether they've lost themselves in their marriage, they're fearful about their future, or nervous about dating, Kelly empowers them to move through the process with courage and powerfully transition to their new life. She also helps business owners reduce sick days and burnout while increasing productivity, focus, and morale with her innovative wellness programs and workshops. Kelly, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Oh, Leah, thank you for having me.
So I'm super excited to talk with Kelly today because she has an amazing event coming up, and that is what we are going to be talking about. And it is called the Loving Life After Divorce Summit. So tell us, Kelly, what inspired you to create this event?
Well, and one of the reasons it's so amazing is you being participating in it. Oh
Thank
my gosh.
you.
I'm truly humbled. I mean, we have literally 27 amazing speakers. The interviews, we're just bringing so much value. And what inspired me is I'm on the other side of divorce and thriving. And I want to help more people do that. And as a wellness and life coach, I've helped people, create the life they want and get into the health they want and all of that. But it just kind of kept going, veering toward divorced people. And I've always had sort of a soft spot. Like even before I was married, when I was happily married, and certainly when I was, divorce is a long time coming. So I always thought, well, why is there shame? Like there should be no shame in divorce. And it's a relationship that ended. And so I want to really change the narrative. And I love when people say, I'm happier than I've ever been. And so that's really my big inspiration. And it's a process. Sometimes it's hard to see that light at the end of the tunnel. And I think having the right help and the support is really, really key. So that's why I thought, you know what, I'm going to just reach out and bring together some amazing people who are experts in their field that can speak on all of these tough issues that we face going through divorce. Even in the most amicable situations, it's a huge transition. It's a big life change.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And I love what you said about shame because I 100% agree with that. And for so many people, that's actually the first step is getting over that to deal with all the other things, right? I've talked to people a lot about this over the years, but there's so many different life transitions that we experience, whether it's getting married and having wedding showers and having, the reception, or it's having a baby and having a baby shower, having a graduation and having, the parties that go with that. But even when you lose a loved one, there are memorial services or there's funerals and there's time and space to grieve. But when people go through a divorce, which is such a huge change, a lot of times it's like, let's close the curtains and, just kind of deal with it in the dark, so to speak. And there's not for a lot of people, and especially in certain communities, open conversation about it. And so it can feel that shame very deeply.
Exactly, and very isolating. And even
Mhm.
though the divorce rate's so high, people still feel alone, and they feel
Mhm.
like, and especially certain circumstances I have found, people feel like they're the only ones going through it, where it's that,
Yeah.
whether dealing with a narcissist or that parental alienation or infidelity, you feel so like, oh, there's no one else going through this, but there are many more people, and knowing that, I think, really really is helpful, and having the tools and strategies to get through it is really just so key, because it's kind of like,
Absolutely.
how do I get through this? And some of the situations that divorce presents are really tough.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the finances, which you so eloquently talk about in the summit. Like, what is it?
Yeah.
Virtual summit.
Um, so we have a question here from somebody who is watching. Angela, thank you for your question. She's asking, is it more for people who are going through a divorce or people who are already divorced?
That is a great question. It's actually both. It's kind of hard to nail that down because definitely someone going through a divorce, certainly. And definitely somebody recently divorced because, you're still finding your way. But I have found that even some people that have been divorced for a while, they still feel stuck. They still have grief. They still have stuff they need to work on. And so it depends on where you are. Now, if you're on the other side of divorce many years and you're thriving and having, probably not for you, you know. And the other people that I would love to invite to this are those thinking about divorce because,
Okay.
I mean, for me, it was a long time coming.
Mhm.
For my husband, I mean, we knew it was coming. Most people in our life didn't know it was coming. So it was a shock to some people, not to those close to us, but you're thinking about divorce a long time before you pull the plug. So this could help people even thinking about divorce as well.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
not, pro divorce, everybody should divorce. If you can save your marriage, absolutely. But if you can't, the more you prolong it, the longer you have to that next best chapter.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit more about some of the other speakers who are involved with the summit.
So we have some great topics. Like I mentioned, divorcing a narcissist and dealing with that. That's a tough one. And also dealing with like the toxic ex. There's unfortunately so much of that animosity. And in a perfect world, it's like, hey, we've decided to split. Let's just make it nice and make it amicable. And you go your way, I go mine. And it's so sad. Even people who want it, even people who initiate it, even people who have done the betraying, still cause so much pain and strife. So we have like Lisa Johnson. She is fantastic. She's the head of Been There, Got Out. She's got books, and she's really a great specialist on those kind of really tough situations. And we have Victoria McCooey, Tracy Malone, who are experts on dealing with narcissists, divorcing a narcissist. The financial, I think, is so huge. You and I talked about things that I know a lot of people have not thought about.
Right.
And we have another speaker on that, talking about different financial issues. We have Rena McDonald's who does the estate planning, talking about estate planning. There's so many things that people don't think about till it's too late, and that's just you can find yourself in a situation where, like she points out, you don't want your ex-husband or wife being the being the one to pull the plug, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And also co-parenting, step parenting. Co-parenting is so huge.
Mhm.
We've heard for years that sort of saying, you've got to love your kids more than you hate your ex. And unfortunately, most people want to that, but they don't behave in that manner.
Mhm.
And everybody I've talked to, clients, potential clients, people I've interviewed, worked with, the most important thing is their kids and their kids being okay. So there's going to be a lot of that deal, help in with that regard.
I love that, and it's not even just, for those of you who are watching, it's not even just for children under the age of 18, even adult children, right? We never stop parenting,
Right.
and, it's very common when I'm working with people who are older to be very worried about how it's gonna impact the family interactions, regardless of age.
That is such a good point. My kids are 17 and 21, and it affects. I have friends that they were full-fledged adults in their 20s and 30s, and it was difficult for their parents to divorce.
Yeah,
Just Yeah, because it changes the dynamics. And then we also have
exactly.
a lot of great speakers on dating with Katie, Julie Furman, Courtney or Whitney Coburn, and also Amanda Lauder, who's an expert on sex
Oh,
after
fantastic, yeah.
divorce, so those kind of things, because that's a tough one.
Mhm.
I mean, people getting out there, and that's I know a lot of people have that, like, I never want to get out there again. And it is scary, but it really can be so rewarding and fun. And you want to be handling things. So you're processing and you're not taking the same baggage into your next relationship or finding yourself with the same type of person if you don't want to.
Right. Angela has another question. When is the summit?
It is September 25th. So it's open. Registration is open right now. So it goes, so anybody who, registers will get access starting September 25th. It's going to go for 5 days. We have several speakers on each day. And then we are having 2 live panels as well. So that way people can interact and ask questions to the speakers. So that'll be fun. And those will be on that Tuesday and Thursday.
Excellent. And I will include a link below the video that you all can use to register if you would like to do so as soon as we're done. So come back, and if you have any other questions, feel free to put them in.
Yeah.
Even if you come back and watch the replay, I'll come back and check for any other questions and make sure your questions get answered.
And speaking of replays, there will be a replays of the
Yeah.
summit. So if you're like, well, September 25th, I've got something going on that whole week. You will have that whole week to watch, and then definitely replay time. And then it's also an opportunity. We've got a VIP package that has like literally thousands of dollars worth of amazing things, plus unlimited access, so you'll never lose access. But if you sign up, you'll get all that information.
But even if you do the free registration, there's tons of free resources, right?
Oh my gosh, unbelievable. Yes, every single speaker has amazing free resources. So it's like I said, it's amazing. It's so exciting.
That's awesome.
Obviously for a long
time. So tell me, what have you done to love your post-divorce life?
Well, I did a lot of work on myself, because that you can't change other people. You can only change yourself, your outlook, how you look at things, your perspective, how you react. And that can change so many things. So I did that because, like I said, our divorce was a long time coming, and we didn't divorce as soon as we wanted to because of various reasons. Our kids were younger. It's so crazy expensive to live. I live in Southern California in the Los Angeles area. So to have 2 separate households here is like, and, I had a great career in network television, but I left that to raise kids. And then I, started writing and doing wellness. And so I've been doing that, but mostly part-time because I was raising kids. And so, to have two households but then I'm kind of glad we did that, because we had a really tough time, but we both did work on ourselves. We got more amicable, and then we were able to have an amicable split. But even though it was amicable, it's still a huge transition. Like all of a sudden, this person's not in your life in the same way. So
Right.
I did the work on myself, process. I let myself have the grief and the sadness, and I feel the loss, even though, and I remember I was like, you've been wanting this for so long. What do but it's still a loss. It's still a transition. Grief for my kids. I mean, I can't, I'll be honest. It's like, I feel sad and guilty that I'm not giving them what I had. My parents were married until the day my mom passed away. So, but I think them seeing both of us happy is probably better than, I know it's better from all the research. So I did the work on myself, and then I just really made a decision. I think, happiness is a choice. And I thought, you know what? This is the opportunity that I've been wanting for a long time. And it's such an opportunity to reinvent yourself and renew. And so I took that opportunity and I did it. So that was a big thing. And I let myself be open to dating. And I went into dating just, yes, it's great if I find a great guy. And this is something I definitely work with on myself, but with my clients as well, is the mindset and how we perceive things, because how you perceive things is basically how that's the outcome you're going to get. And like, I've been my first client in all things for many years. And it's not always easy, but I thought, if I go into this thinking there are no good men, everyone's a player, the good ones are, then that's what I'm going to get. But I thought, you know what, there's great men out there, and there's a guy out there wondering where I am, and he will cherish me and love me. And also I thought, you know what, I'm just going to have fun. I haven't been on the dating scene in a long time. Even if I meet people that could become a great friend, or they might know someone, or I might know someone for them. I just went into it like that, instead of the gripping of, and then of course, I found a great guy that I, even sooner than I thought I would. I thought, and so now I'm in a great relationship, and So that's pretty much what I did to love life after divorce. But
I
even if I
love
never
that.
got to a great relationship, I was in a happy place. I was, like, happy with myself, and I was making new friends, and yeah, and just kinda diving into work.
Well, even just the ability to approach dating with that open mind and that positivity, that's really hard for people. So I can see that you had already done the work to be able to do that.
Yes, and I love helping people do that.
Mhm.
It's a muscle you have to really continue.
Yeah,
All of mindset stuff is. It's like if I kind of falter, then I can go down the rabbit hole. I'm certainly not perfect either. And it's like, okay, Kelly, you got to practice what you preach here.
okay, so this is fantastic. I am really looking forward to hearing some of the other speakers in the summit. It was such a pleasure to have the opportunity to participate, and I really appreciate you sharing a little bit about what people can expect. We will absolutely include the link so you all can get registered. I would just encourage you to register, even if all you can do is watch one or two of the presentations. Honestly, you're going to get so much value from each and every one of them. And so, yeah,
You
go
should
ahead.
pick. I mean, maybe you're not dealing with a narcissist, so that's not it. You can maybe you want to really dive into the dating,
That's right.
so and we have speakers that are really talking about creating steps to create that next best chapter and create a life you love specifically. Um, not just avoiding conflict, and those talks are really, really great for anyone who wants definitely practical tools to just be happier and love your life. That's a you could, even if you just watch that day, if that's where you are.
Absolutely. So again, Kelly, thank you so much for being here today. I will check back. If anybody has any other questions, feel free to put them in the comments. If you know somebody who you think would appreciate information about the summit, please share this video with them. Let them know what it's all about. It's going to be lots of learning, community, connection, just a great opportunity to get additional information, get some inspiration, and really learn so much. So September 25th through the 29th, right?
Mhm.
Yep. So just a couple weeks away. Have a great afternoon.